Hello, sorry about that. I just had a phone call. But yeah, it's like I get up the ladder or come down the ladder, and it's like all of a sudden I'm just like, you know what? If there's a God, I don't want to shut that roof hatch. I'm gonna test you right now, and I climbed that ladder, and I was like, God, I don't want to shut this roof hatch. I get up, like it's like two rungs. I was like two rungs away, and I'm just reached up, and I hear his voice, "Hey!" I'm like, look down. There's a guy down there. He says, "Can you leave that roof hatch open? I'm gonna go up that roof hatch." And I was just like, excuse me, sorry about that. I was just like, what? I was like, I just asked God if He's here not to let me close this roof hatch, and all of a sudden this dude shows up and yells at to me. So it was kind of like a little sign. I kind of took it that way. Um, so after that, is I kind of want to start like studying all religions. I even told my wife I came home and I pull off the computer, and she'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "I need to study every religion. I want to know about God. I want to know what's going on. There's these spirits. There's a spirit world, and I need to know what's going on. I'm not. I don't know. It's just like shit. Sorry about that. I still cuss. Sorry, but anyways, so and I'm afraid of bees. But so why am I afraid of bees? That wasn't a bee. It was a fly, probably. Anyways, so I started reading stuff and just kind of went back into my own religion, Catholicism. Started reading stuff, and so I was like, my wife started at that time. She started hooking up with a friend on Facebook, an old friend from high school. And her friend started introducing her to this book called the Bhagavad Gita as it is. And my wife was kind of searching. I don't know. I guess God was waking us up at the same time. But she started searching towards Buddhism. And so she, like I said, she found her old friend on Facebook. And she's like, hey, check this out. And her friend was into Krishna consciousness, the Hare Krishnas back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s stuff. So she gave her a book, and she started reading it and all that kind of stuff. Was all into it, going over her house every week, and they would get together and all that stuff. I wouldn't go. I didn't have any desire. But so one day she's like, "Hey, why don't you read this book?" It was by Bhakti Tirtha Swami. It was a spiritual warrior series book that he wrote. He was a Swami for the Hare Krishna movement. So I was like, all right. So wasn't too long. It was about 100 something page. I don't even know, but I read it with like one night. I don't know. I was just like, boom, I couldn't stop reading it. I laid on that couch, and when I got up, I was done reading the book. I was in awe. I was just like, what was that? I was like, everything just like came together. Like all these religions and everything, and all these answers I have are right here. This guy's just throwing them out. And everything was making sense. And I was just like, okay, this is cool. So she's like, all right, well, let me tell you about this book. She gave me this book. Okay, this book, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, written by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay, so I started reading this book. The introduction, man, the introduction to this thing. Forget it, man. It just blew me away. I was just like, I don't even know. I mean, everything he said just hit me so hard. Everything made sense to me. It was like God was talking to me. It was just like, this is what you need to follow. I'd read books from saints or about saints from Catholicism, stuff like that, and I get some good stuff, but it wasn't like nothing was grabbing me. It wasn't grabbing me saying here I am, or whatever, you know. I read a couple of books that really, like, I guess the books that really helped me out with the saints were like St. John on the Cross writings. I read a little bit of Thomas Merton. But I guess the biggest thing I got out of it was the mystical love, you know, the relationship with God. You know, was my main thing I got out of those books. St. John on the Cross explained it very well, you know, about this loving relationship with Christ. And and never heard about it before. And I went and talked to my dad about it, and he's like, "Oh no, don't read that stuff. That's deep." He says, "That's, you know." And I even talked to my brother. My brother's a Catholic monk, you know. And when I told him my experiences in this stuff, I wanted to read this book, Thomas Merton. And the other monks are like, "No, you know, that stuff's not for the lay people. You know, the people, you know, with families. This is for the monks." And I was just like, "What? You kidding me?" I was so pissed off. Oh my gosh. I wanted to write that guy but I didn't, you know. But I was pissed, man. I was pissed. So I'm gonna turn this camera a little bit, shade and stuff. But yeah, I was pissed, and I was like, you know, I can understand this. So I tried, and I did. It was beautiful. I guess they made me want to read it more, because it's like, what? How dare you? How dare you say I can't read this? You know? Did he say this is just for monks or whatever? Anyways, but I did. So because I'm like a person that someone tells me I can't do it, I'm gonna do it. I've been that way my whole life. I've been defiant. My parents know. It's like, you say I can't do it, I'm gonna do it. And I've always been that way. And I don't know. You know, that's the way God made me. Hey, we're all different. We all got our special uniqueness about us, and hey, whatever. So so I started reading this, and you know, like I said, this is about 4 years ago. As soon as I started reading it, I dove deep into it. You know, I was like, I wanted to practice this type of faith, this type of it's not really a religion, I guess, but this way of finding the God, and because it just felt so comfortable, it felt so natural, it felt like everything was being explained to me. I wasn't searching. It was like, here I am, here it is, here's how you get to me, here's how you have this relationship with me. It explained different relationships with him. I mean, who knows that you can have all these relationships with God? Not too many people. My brother is a monk, okay? I love you, brother. And he's taught me so much. I asked him, I said, "Do you ever pray to the Father, God the Father, or do you just pray to Jesus?" And he kind of just looked at me like, "I just pray to Jesus." You know, and I know, you know, Jesus is the way you get to heaven, but, you know, I believe there's more ways. There's a Father. Jesus says there's a Father. He's So, do we search for this Father, or do we just stay with Jesus? Well, okay, now that's where I am. You know, I get this whole type of, like, all right, you're gonna tell me I just gotta pray to Jesus. I want to know the Father. So I don't know. This book, the Bhagavad Gita, just started teaching me who the Father was, and it, you know, and it explained a lot. You know, before I started reading this book, I just want to tell you a little bit about something. I was really praying to the Blessed Mother. My brother gave me this book. It was about concentrating your life to the Blessed Mother. Basically, just saying, "Here I am. Take my life. Do what you will. I'm yours." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna do it," because the spiritual stuff's hitting me hard, and this is where it's going. So I did. You know, I read this book. I did this whole long, I don't know, month or so. You gotta do every day. Say these certain prayers and blah 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 and all this stuff, and you end up wearing a scapular. I still have a brown scapular that I wear because I, I love her. She showed me a lot. So I did that to her, and I got really close with her. I felt her working in my life. I smelt her. I felt her. I can't even explain it, man. I had some crazy stuff happening. It was all about just being woke up at the time, and that's what the Lord was doing for me and through the Blessed Mother. So after that, I was kind of talking to my mom. She's really into the Blessed Mother and all this, and I was telling her about the Bhagavad Gita, and she's just like, that could be some evil stuff. Your wife's reading and all this stuff. So I'm like, yeah, it could be. So I better read it. To see. This is before I started reading it. Like I said. So I was like, I'm gonna read this book. I wanna figure out what she's reading. I wanna make sure there's no evil in my house. Evil writings, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Little did I know. But I was worried about evil writings and the stuff I was doing before. I mean, come on. Really, I was bringing it right into my house. Jeez. So, anyways, so I started reading it. I started picking every word apart. I studied. I maybe didn't study, but I looked up every word and that I didn't understand, every meaning I didn't understand, picked it apart, trying to find the bad in it, I guess you can say. But I couldn't. All I can find was like how amazing it was, how it was like fitting into my life, how it was like introducing me to God, how it was like showing me who God was, how it was like showing me who I am, what I am, why I'm on this earth, why is everybody on this earth, why is this happening to me, why is everything happen. It explains it. So it's like it just really hit home, and I can't stop thinking about this book. I can't stop thinking about Prabhupada, who brought this over. I love him. I believe he was very empowered by God, to bring this knowledge to the world. If you study what he did and you really look at the movement that he started, you'll realize what he did, and that no ordinary man could have done something like that. You have to be empowered by the Lord to get these people to follow you like this. I mean, there were people coming, they were trying, but no one had the power because didn't have the power from God. They weren't bringing the right message. This was the right message. It wasn't about against Jesus. It wasn't against Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, whatever. It wasn't against any of the religions. It was like he came over and is like, I'm not telling you to convert, I'm just we're here to spiritualize religions. He didn't even say leave your religion. He wanted to spiritualize, all the religions spiritualized. He wanted spiritual practices back in the religion, not just this mundane, boring crap. Yep, I said it, crap. I go to the Catholic Church. I love Catholicism. I'm not bashing it, but I'm bashing the practices that when everybody walks out of that church, no one's smiling, no one says hi to each other. It's awful. I hate it. I've hated it ever since I was a kid. Don't hate the whole reasoning behind it, but I hate the way it is. So, there's no spirituality. There is no spirituality. If people are spiritual, it's a whole different ballgame. So, that's what he's doing. He's like, hey, I'm not trying to say give up Catholicism, be a Hare Krishna. I'm just trying to teach you how to be God conscious. Think about God. Think about God in your work. Work for God. Live for God. What is your purpose on this earth? Why are you human? Who are you? stuff you never looked at, you know? He taught me about the material existence of this world. I mean, spiritual and material. Think about it. It's deep, man. It's, well, not deep. It's just, you can't understand it unless it's time for you to understand it. Everybody will understand it one day. It's just, it's when it's their time, it's their time. But there's a material contamination or illusion or something. I don't know what you want to call it, but, that's what I really realized I was into. I was into myself. I was into work. I was into toys, buying boats, motorcycles, having a good looking wife, trying to have sex with her every which way I can. Yeah, I said that. It wasn't about love, it was about lust. I love her. I love her, and I love her. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I didn't know what love was. It was lust. I was lusting after everything. I was lusting after the desire to satisfy my senses. Okay? My sense of, just every sense I had, I was lusting after fulfilling and going to, extreme lengths to fulfill them, Then I realized, it's all material, it's, you're trying to fulfill these senses that don't get fulfilled by materialism. You can sit there and try and go buy a house, go buy a boat, go buy a car, go get the beautiful wife, go get 100 girlfriends. Who cares? You're not going to be satisfied. You're going to be done. You're going to want more. You're going to want, the boat's going to feel good for a while. Then you're not going to want it. Motorcycle's going to feel good for a while. Whatever. After that, what do you got? You're still freaking searching. What are you searching for? You don't even know. I didn't even know. I didn't even know until I had the mercy of God. And I think this was all about the mercy of, he woke me up and said, hey, this is what you're searching for. And he's right, we're all searching for something. We're searching for happiness. We're searching for love. We're searching for acceptance. We all have low self-esteem or false egos that are making us think we're all cool, whatever. But, everybody's got something that they don't like about themselves and that pulls them away and stops them from, going out and doing the extra. It's that extra, just that little something inside saying you're not okay. In these last probably 4 years, I'm making this video, okay, and I wanted to do this probably 3 years ago. This Bhagavad Gita needs to get out. I know, you can give it out in the streets and all that stuff, but people don't like to read. It's crazy. I ask people, no one wants to read. No, So you know what? I want to read this Bhagavad Gita online to you guys. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If you want to watch, you want to watch. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. But I feel, if one person watches, hey, if he gets anything out of it, that's great. I just feel hopefully somebody will get something out of it. If not, hey, oh well, nothing's lost. I read the Bhagavad Gita again. So, hey, all's good. But I just feel that strongly about it. I feel it can help other people. It's helped me so much. And I want other people to have that feeling. I want other people to have that. I want that knowledge to be available to you guys, to everybody. It should be. And there's people holding this knowledge back from us, and in the deeper teachings of all the religions, this knowledge is there. But for some reason, it's not being taught to us, and that's what's holding us back. We need to re-spiritualize society. We need to re-spiritualize these religions. We don't need to go out of our religions. We need to re-spiritualize them. God is one. The Father is one. When you learn, you can have even a different relationship with him as your father. You know, there's different relationships with the Lord. With you know, it's just this book teaches you about where God lives. You know, I mean, what it's like. I've never heard anything like this. You know, it's amazing. Really makes you start thinking. It's like, hey, wow, this is amazing. I love you, man. I mean, I want to be with you. I mean, geez, but so I think we'll all get to that point sometime in our life that we all need God. And a lot of us know that. I mean, come on, we all know that. And if we don't, we're fighting it hard. But yeah, and also, okay, so check this out. I see all these people turn into Jesus. I love Jesus, I love Jesus. But then again, they got this materialism still going. They're like doing their hair and making themselves look beautiful. They got to buy all this fancy stuff, and it's like a big show. And there's even preachers that preach this stuff, like Joel Osteen. I'm not saying nothing bad, whatever. I mean, there's levels. There's levels of consciousness. There's levels of people, awakening that people need. So I mean, he's there for people. I love you, Joel. I love all the people. I love everybody. But it's some people are doing service and some people are doing a disservice to society. And eventually they'll all turn to God. I mean, at some point, it's couldn't it be not this life, could be another one. So, but I don't know. I hope you come along with this adventure with me. And if you like it, like it. If you don't. But hope this helps. I love you guys, and so next time when I'm gonna start. Okay, I'll let you know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start by reading the book. Okay, just gonna kind of read the book. Just chapter, and maybe not even a chapter at a time. Maybe a couple pages at a time. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about it or not a little bit about it. I don't know, but I just wanna get the word out there, and we'll see how it goes. And hey, maybe I'll meet some new friends, and nice to meet all of you. Nice to meet all you guys, and God bless you, and love you guys.